Alright guys, I'm going to do a quick one about how I heat my greenhouse. So right now it's about 13 degrees outside. Inside the greenhouse it's about 38 now. So let's go into the greenhouse and see what I do to heat up the greenhouse. It's really cold outside. It dipped down to 4 degrees last night. So it's really cold. Right now it's about 13. With the sun though, it's gonna be a nice day. Up to about, I think, to 20, 22. So, but last night though, it was the coldest we got so far, and my greenhouse is still above freezing inside the greenhouse. So let's walk you through the methods that I use to keep this greenhouse above freezing, even though it's about 4 degrees Fahrenheit last night. So let's walk around the greenhouse first, and then I'll go from one spot to the next, the method that I use, and move on. Okay, so the first thing you notice is the styrofoam piece. I place them all around the greenhouse except for the front end where the sun hit it the most. That I left it open, but all around the bottom of the greenhouse you will see styrofoam all around. So that's the first thing I do, and that helps keeping the heat as much as possible in the greenhouse. All right, so all around the greenhouse, styrofoam. The next thing will be the water. You can actually see smoke coming out of the water. So that'll show you that it's heating up the greenhouse too. So I have a lot of water in the greenhouse. All this row here, the front end of the greenhouse, will be water, and all of this here also water. So water is really good at maintaining heat and give out heat whenever it's cold. So when you have some sun in the greenhouse, the sun and the greenhouse will heat up the greenhouse. Your water absorb all those heat and keep it there, and then when it gets really cold, it will give up the heat, as you can see with the smoke coming out of the water. So all of this are water. So water are the best one. It's really good to heat up the greenhouse for little or to nothing. And you can see here too, at a certain angle, you can see it's giving out smoke, giving out heat. So that's how it works. Okay, so that's two things already that I do to keep my greenhouse warm in freezing cold temperature. The next things are your rocks. Here I have my stepping stones and pea gravels, and be all around the greenhouse, and that will help keep the cold air from the ground to rise up, and it actually retains some of the heat whenever the sun hit the greenhouse, because no matter how cold it is, if you have the sun to come out, your greenhouse will be above freezing, that's for sure, without any external source at all. So right now when you look at the greenhouse, the temperature is you can't see that, it's actually 53 degrees right now, 54. So I have two sensors. One is from this sensors here, and one is a sensors here. Now this sensor is the sensors that you see that show inside the greenhouse and inside the house. inside the house, because this sensor will let me know how cold it is in the greenhouse when I'm inside the house, and the temperature you saw was that one. This one will always be colder than the one on that end, just because this is shaded and it's next to the wall, but it's shaded, that's why it's always colder. And this will tell me approximately how cold it is inside the greenhouse, but I trust this sensors here a lot more. Okay, so right now that sensor is say about 54 degrees right now, while it's about 13 degrees outside. So that's the next thing. So we got three things already. Okay, the panels here that lay down to the bottom all around the greenhouse, the water, and then the stones. The next thing that I use is going to be my heater. Okay, my heater here. So I have two sets of heaters, and they do two different things. This heater will be on a temperature controlled plug that is set to be, if it's fall below 35, I think it was 35. If it fall below 35, this will turn on. And this is my backup of a backup. So if it's extremely cold, then this heater will turn on, and the fan will blow all the way to there. And this heater is specially made for greenhouse, so it can handle all the humidity, everything inside the greenhouse. It can handle it. Okay, so this is a backup of a backup. All right, and that heater will blow the air all the way to here if it get below 35. But my main source of heat is going to be from this here. This is a space heater, oil filled lamp space heater. And the reason I like this space heater is because it's very efficient. It does not, it takes a while to heat up, but once it starts going, it's not too harsh for the plants. And I got a fan here. So right now it's not on because I set this heater and the fan to turn on only if it's 46 degrees or lower. So once it hit 46, it will turn on. When it turn on though, this will be on, the fan will be on. And the main thing about this is you want to have a fan because you want to blow the warm air all around the greenhouse. And this system will turn on first, because this system was set to be at 46. So once it's hit below that, it will turn on, the fan will turn on. It will blow the warm air all around here, this way. And the reason I have blown from here to there, because most of my tropical plants are here. So I'll make sure that no matter how cold it's inside the greenhouse, my plant that's tropical will not die. Even if it fall below freezing, if I have this heater on and this fan is blowing, you know, this whole row here, my plants will not die no matter what. Okay, so it will blow the air to this way, and then it'll hit all my plants, and then it'll hit this door. Once it hit this door, it will either rise up or go this way. Okay, so most of the time the air will rise up here. But if it get really cold, remember when it get really cold, then this heater will turn on and it will circulate the air. So once this is turned on, there's also a fan here too built in. It will circulate the air and push air that way. So when it's like to a single digit degree outside, inside here, you have warm air flowing. And then my next one, the fifth step is I use candles. So you can tell the candles are right here and it's on right now. I have candles right here and it's on. And then I also have a candle set over here. Right there. So I only use a candle whenever is single digit temperature outside at night. So if I know like tonight it get down to 5 or 4, then I will use the candles. And the candle, where I position them is very important too. I'll position them right here, right behind the space heater, so it will always suck out the hot air will rise, but this fan though will pull the hot air from the candle and the space heater, blow it that way. Okay, and that's how I position my candles. I don't use candles a lot just because I don't need to. Most night, if it's 10 or higher, then I don't need the candle, just because my temperature controlled heater will turn on. But most of the night though, this heater here will not even be turned on, and the backup heater will rarely turn on, because it never dipped down to be that low for it to turn on, but it's still a backup system. So that's how I heat up my greenhouse, mainly through this sensor controlled heater. The reason is sensors and not like plug in, turn on at night when I have to, is once I set it up, I don't have to worry about it. It will turn on when it needs to, it turn off when it needs to, and you don't have to worry. And you actually, with this system here, you don't use a lot of power at all, because I do set this to max. So this is 1,500 watts per hour, and this fan I set to low, so I won't use that much. So once this is on, it costs about 15 cents per hour to use. And then that heater, I only use the low setting, which is about 750 watts on that heater, just so it just blow the warm air to this way and circulate. So at the end, even if I use this 2 heater at the same time, I probably use about 20 cents or 22 cents per hour. So that's pretty cheap compared to if you have to use like a different source. And it's not about being cheap, it's about being efficient. Most of the night, this 2 system will never turn on, because your water is the main source where it hold the temperature during the day, and we release it at night whenever it's cold. So that's how I heat up my greenhouse. If you guys have any questions, just let me know, and I'll be glad to help. But try to set it as simple as possible. That's your goal, and make it as efficient as possible. That's the next goal. Simple and efficient. Thank you guys. Bye.